All right, peace, peace, peace. Well, first and foremost, man, hopefully the Most High in your house has blessing your day. By His mercies, we are consumed. We're alive in the Most High in your house has body. Too, we're naturally alive. And I want to get into this, man, because honestly, we want to, I want to get into this because it's just I was thinking about this last night, and here's an aspect to look at this, like, 'cause this too. A lot of times, right? Because this is kind of goes into, you know, how how things are honestly like we look at it now and things aspects and we gotta look through things spiritual spiritually, man, through spiritual eyes and ears, like we always say, but also too, like, even on natural tips tip, man, because like the brother said in the one of the brothers said in the and one of the brothers in Discord app on the class, I ain't gonna say his name, and on the class a few weeks ago, said it, man, like, perfectly, man, on the brother semi first born class, like, listen, just because we in the word now, just because we were once like, we were once without, man. So of course we can even understand, like, we should be able, I mean, we should I mean, let me say this, we should strive to understand where people without the word, or like, when they come like with different, like, even carnal fleshly thoughts, because we once had that about the world, looking at it from that perspective, understand how they could come to that conclusion. But all right, that's the litter box. But yeah, they come to that conclusion because honestly. But here's the thing. One, because let me say this too. A lot of times, really the most, like, when let's say this too, man, because a lot of times, like, really, when you meet certain women that they say they hate men, they really, talking about, they really hate, like, like the brother semi firstborn said, they really hate the Most High house shot. They hate the Most High. They hate the Lord. They hate God. Honestly, when they say that, because if it's men is in His image and you hate him, that means you hate them. And or like the brother semi firstborn said, they hate the men that, like, that past experience with men, like, throughout the life, whether it's their father or, like, past significant others, brother, or whatever. Some maybe actual really traumatic, actual real trauma, like, I mean, life altering happened with experience with a man, or their own bad mistakes, and, like, that lack of love, whatever. That's another reason for another day too. But honestly too, like we always say, man, because, like, what, like, that's why in the scriptures, like, certain times when we mention certain scripture, like, there's no wickedness of a woman. That's not always talking about the natural woman. We gonna see in this aspect of, right, because here's the thing, right, about this. There's uh when like, we're gonna get into Second Timothy, because when the scriptures say, like, I suffer a woman not to teach, honestly, well, let's look at it from another perspective, honestly, like, because one, it could be simple as, listen, like, listen, you can get over it, like, the Most High house, the word say what it say, move on. Just that's just what it is, and yeah, and that's fair. We're gonna do that too. That's just, at the end of the day, that's the root of it. But let's look at it from this aspect. Oh my gosh. Let's look at it from this aspect. Yo, shoot, I'm sorry. Cause let's just get into it real quick. My bad. I just gotta, because let's look at it from this aspect, because it's not always just talking about, like, natural woman, honestly, man. Let's look at it, because yeah, because, like, Jeremiah 6:2, how the Most High house child, like, compares it. He doesn't even want his woman to teach him, honestly. Let's look at it in this aspect, because, like, it's too, because when, like, especially, like, like we mentioned this before, like, when it says let the woman learn in silence, honestly, the one, like Sirach says, that's a gift of the Lord, like, that son of a woman, that's a gift, that's like, that's a gift of a Lord, just see, like, just like a quiet, like, humble, like, servant, like, of the Most High house. It's the same type of deal. But not only that, but also too, the Bible, like, specifically tells me, men in my age range, like, when elder men are talking, this sometimes, well, more importantly, in the word, in the Lord, like, in the but even sometimes out the word, when older men are talking, like, look, no, hold your tongue, bridle your tongue, and be quiet. So the Bible, the scriptures tell men when to be quiet. But we're gonna look at this in this aspect. Let's get First Timothy chapter 2 real quick. It says Okay, no, okay, no, hold on. Oh, that's not it. Maybe 4 and 2. Okay, hold on, y'all, hold on. First Timothy, the second, okay, First Timothy 2:11. So First Timothy chapter 2 verse 11. It says, "Let the woman yes, let the woman learn in all. Let the woman learn in silence and with all subjection. And but I suffer a woman not to teach, nor usurp authority over the man. I'm sorry. It says, but to be in silence. So see, exactly. So let's see. Look at this too, man. We're gonna look at this in the aspect too. We're about to grab this too. So, and also in context, this is talking about like in the aspect of assembly in the church in the congregation. So not saying like to me honestly like personally like it does benefit a lot of times when women just like even when men honestly this is a people thing. Can people sit back and kind of like with the post we share sometimes your mouth can get us in trouble. Like certain times just sit back and be sometimes it's that your time to sit back and wait. Like this like kind of like Elihu did. Like he had to sit back and wait, hold on, y'all. Okay, yeah. All right. So yes, it says but let the woman learn in silence and with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor usurp authority over a man. So yeah, my bad, y'all. Yeah, so that's is what it is right there, man. So yeah, let's grab this Ecclesiastes. All right. It says Ecclesiastes chapter 26, also known as Sirach chapter 26, verse 14. A silent loving woman is a gift of the Lord. There is nothing worth as much as a mind well instructed. So see, exactly, in the instruction of the Most High Yahushua, man. Also too, a great like skilled scribe, a good the preacher to increase your faith, but also too, man, that's just what it is. So see, it says a silent woman is a gift from the Lord. And that's not just talking about a natural woman, man. Honestly, like we going to get into, man. So, but let's look at this too, because let's look at this in the spiritual aspect, man. It says, let not the woman let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man, but to learn in silence. So see that? Let's look at this. Let's look at this aspect. So for anybody that like from people that especially people like from from another perspective, especially because it's too we like but again, this is all prophecy. Isaiah 3:1, I mean 3:12, and Jeremiah 31:20 and 12, and Jeremiah 31 and 22. Like we live in the time of the mother goddess worship. I mean, even that happened in the ancient world, but not as prominent as mother goddess divine feminine worship. Like the Western liberal women like perspectives. But let's look at this in this perspective as well. Let's go to Isaiah real quick, because same way like or this I speak as a man, but for me I was just thinking about earlier reason why like the Most High Yahushua would say this, because one, that's is what it is, and two is like that's like us, that's like as like he says what he's gonna say right here, that's like his woman, like our people, like Israel. It's like or like that's like a natural man trying to teach the Most High Yahushua. Like let's look at it from that perspective. So whenever that word comes out and people like kind of get offended or like look at it like that, let's kind of like say in this aspect honestly, because like that's is what is not to listen even if they do, that's on them, but I'm saying like listen, let's just kind of explain it, look at it as this, because that's like kind of honestly like you trying to teach God, honestly that's is what it is. So like let's get Isaiah to the 40 verse 14. Now, even in natural, yeah, can you learn? Not really. No, let me say this too, because this when it says teach, right? Because we Titus already goes into how women can teach, honestly, but not as far as like teaching, other men, or like really trying to like doing what the what the scribes and like the one the apostles and the scribes and the priests and stuff like that do. No, no, that's no. But as far as like giving them good word and teaching like the uh daughters and sons and daughters and like especially but even both, like, yeah, of course, like that. But certain things, like it's just said, like certain things is off limits, honestly. That's is what it is. I say this to say because I ain't gonna go into, but I've seen like online and in person, like especially like certain sisters in the word that was actually like teaching, like actually like street teaching before. I've seen it. So like I didn't come up in there. No, that's they listen. They listen. That's what they gonna do. That's what they gonna do. Like that's none of my business. I ain't gonna go up there and trying to rebuke them or correct. No, that's not. Mind your own business. The matter not those matters. Those matters have nothing to do with me. Honestly, yeah, it doesn't. So that's is what it is. But I'm saying to say like as what the words say. But that's pretty much like us trying to teach them most like his woman, like Jeremiah 6:2. Let's go to Jeremiah 6:2 real quick. Trying to teach the most high house shot, but I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. Um, it says Isaiah chapter 40 verse 14. With whom he took counsel, and who instructed him, and taught him in the path of judgment, and taught him in knowledge, and shewed him the way of understanding. So see, exactly. And not saying that sisters can know the word, because there's certain sisters that, like, of course, can know the word, stuff like that. But it's the different, like, but it's too. Here's the brother. I remember Judah Mack and Masharathia said this as well one time. It's just like a lot of times too, like even on the natural tip, right? Even with men, even this is a people thing. A lot of times, like even like that's why like see that's why this it's not always when like the woman is always not talking about natural women. It's always talking about because people. This is more a people thing. I ain't going to say this is for sisters, right? A lot of times too, like when you get in certain new environments or certain places, like don't like how I said with the way he's saying Luke 14, like if you invited to a feast or what's a big like take the back, honestly, like wait for your time, then you'll get your time eventually, like when it's your time, or like like even Ecclesiastes Sirach 32 goes into that, because a lot of times it's like don't try to show off how much you know. Honestly, show much how you could follow. Honestly, how you can follow orders. Honestly, how you can honestly, because it's too. That's like honestly, like because that's like honestly, y'all actually ran across these people before, like that person that's new on the job. Now they're just like because let me say this too, because sometimes you have this aspect because certain people are just wonder, can certain people are just gifted that way. They make immediate impact. It's like Magic Johnson's rookie year. They win it. The rookie year is like, damn, this guy's really like even the season like in football, Jaden Daniels had last season. Like, damn, okay, wow. Or remember Patrick Mahomes' first season starting. Certain people is like that, like in any endeavor, not just saying sports, but it's like, okay, wow, this person came and had immediate impact. But not everybody has that. I have certain people that come from different job or like working in the same type of field or like same type of field, and they had probably management or like supervisor experience before, or they were a good employee before, but now they get hired, or now that's new, pretty much is the new person on the job. It's like now they're telling everybody what to do. It's like wait, hold on, you just like play the back, you just got here, like you don't like that's why like this you kind of like just because even sometimes that happens when like industries that people been like you could be working in an industry for like a decade, like 2 or 3 decades, but you might work for another company. You find out that okay, even though you've been working in this set field for a long time, the other company, they do things different over here. So that's really the point that we're getting at, honestly. But honestly, yeah, man, that's a lot of times too, like don't always trying to say like go into like what you. Let's go to Proverbs 25. Because there's other places, Ecclesiastes, also Luke, that goes into this. But yeah, sometimes always going to show off what you know. Sometimes like how obedient can be. How can you follow orders? How you can play it back, or just be a role player. Like honestly, like work your way up in the ranks, man. You know. But when you have a like live in a time period now, or where everybody like I'm him, I'm her, I'm this, I'm that, or everybody should have their own business, or everybody should just be doing this. Or it has to be me, 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 or it's like not like we per se, or like people like like even like people look at down like at the word like a servant now, like honestly, like that's not even ancient world. That was really a bad like thing, especially amongst our people. We had servants, things like that. Not everybody was a ruler or a king, so that's neither here nor there. But yeah, let's get Proverbs chapter 25 verse 6. It says put not forth thyself in the it says put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. Exactly, same thing we say. For it's better to say for it's better that it be said unto thee, come up hither, and that then thou shalt be put in a lower place in the presence of the king, presence of the prince, in whom thy eyes have seen. So see, exactly, man, that's what it goes, what we just saying, working your way up in the ranks, man. Like wait, hold your tongue, like it's not your time yet, man, because a lot of times people don't like the elder brother Judah Mac and Masharati said, like sometimes, because they was talking about sisters, but because they said sisters, he said sisters a lot of times too, brothers aren't worried about how what it's how good you could be obedient and follow. But that's the same for like brothers as well, honestly. Like and for our people, more importantly, inside the word, in the Lord, but even outside, the word, honestly. But even this part 7, this verse 7 is going to revelation, come up hither, and that's also too dealing with humility, honestly, because that's another story for another day. But yeah, man, that's just is what it is too. So that my point being is that it's a point being is that this Timothy, let the it says, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection, but I suffer a woman not to teach nor usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. So yeah. So exactly, man. So that not to usurp. That's because spiritually, that's like us, trying, me trying to usurp authority over the Most High House. It's like, wait, who? Then he said in Isaiah, they just said in Isaiah, whom did you teach on to? Justice and judgment, righteousness, mercy, faith. Who did you come up with that? Or did you create? Kind of what he said to Job in 38, kind of like that. So. This just is what it is. So that's why, it's another aspect of looking at that, honestly. Not even, because get it, especially those that are without, you got, looking at that from their perspective, it is what it is. But, from this, I was just thinking about that. It's like, okay, cool. It's like that, because people get, upset about it. No, even in different aspects, different in the spiritual sphere, but one, you really, if you're really a believer, the word shouldn't really it's that flesh that upsets you, honestly, because that happened to me before. Dang, but that's that when that pride comes in, man. That flesh, the flesh gets upset, but it's really right. But because when you find yourself looking at scripture and getting upset with it, but it's or getting upset with it, you gotta check yourself, oh damn, that's talking about me or getting cut, man. So kind of goes into that self-examination, but yeah, Isaiah chapter 40 verse 14, it says, who with whom took counsel and instructed him and taught him in the path of judgment and taught him knowledge and shewed him in the way of understanding. Exactly. So well, yeah, man. So that so a woman doing that's us really, not speak as a man, but this us trying to teach the Most High house, honestly. It's kind of like that, honestly, because that Jeremiah 6:2, that woman isn't always talking about a natural woman, man. So yeah, man, that's just is what it is, man. So hopefully it's edifying, man. So much love to y'all, brothers and sisters. So peace.